What is up, everybody? You know what it is. Are You the One is back. Season 8 premiere. We got 2 hours to cover. So check this out. The challenges are back. Super excited about that. We got Jenna and Kai have a super connection. Amber hates on Noir and Justin. And we got 2 beams. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey! What it do?
What up, y'all?
Fucking up intros.
Oh my gosh.
Love you.
So glad to be back with my people.
That's how it starts,
Yeah,
y'all.
you know how it is. And I can't hear myself. That's amazing.
That's great.
Why don't you turn
I
me up?
can hear you really great.
Yeah, you can. Can you turn me up so I can
yeah,
hear
let's
myself?
see.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Lem Gonzalvez, and I'm back and super glad to be here for the Are You the One season premiere of Season 8. Yes. Thank you for turning my headphones up.
Are they up?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
Nice.
So
great.
check this out, y'all. I'm about to let y'all know who my peoples are because you already know them because we've been doing this by A1s since day one. Next to me, normally, you know, she's on this side of me.
Literally
but
next to
somebody,
you.
right, exactly. But she's just an arm length away. Y'all know who she is. She's got songs and TV shows and movies. It's how it goes down. Since they don't play, what's up, girl?
What up, everybody? I'm so happy to be back. Man, this whole season's gonna take a whole whirlwind out of me, okay? There's so much to talk about. I cannot wait to get into
gonna
it.
take a whirlwind out of you.
Honey, whirlwind, honey, spin it
Oh,
all.
gosh. Whirlwinds being taken, son. Snatch the whirlwinds. That's what we doing over here.
Honey, I'm snatching something.
Yes, our messy correspondent, Messy Melody, is out today. We are so saddened, but she will be back for the next episode.
Yes.
But you know who's here? My A1 since day one, Filipino king himself, Mr. Nino Llanera. What's up, baby?
Yo, what's going on? Best intros, Lem. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. We are back, and this is history making
Yeah,
for
man.
MTV. I think network TV in general, it's a lot to talk about, bro.
It's a lot to talk about. So, as you know, you should have watched these episodes while you're watching us right now.
Yes.
But this is the first time for this season they're doing a sexually fluid cast.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of talk about this. There was some controversy. Some people liked it. Some people, anticipation saying they didn't like it. But it's here.
It's
And
here.
we got 2 episodes down. What is your thoughts on these season opener?
Now, I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, how it was gonna all play out, but I cannot even lie. I love it so much. I love the couples that are starting to link up, and it took me. It took me. As soon as the whole Justin and Noor relationship started, I'm like, it's coming back. And Bassett and Kylie, I'm like, oh, here for it. So, I'm excited about it.
Okay.
And they really have no rules. They just want to have fun and try to find their love. So
Right.
I'm with it.
I'm so with this. We talked about this in past seasons, saying it would be interesting to have some sort of sexually fluid cast and to
Definitely.
see how it would work. And I'm like Sensei, I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work, but this was made for TV. Like Kai's double dipping situation right off the bat was made for TV. We have somebody so extra and amazing, like Bassett out there. Bassett?
Yeah.
Bassett,
yeah.
out there doing his thing, We're gonna get the names right by the end of the season. Watch, doing his thing and really, showing people what gender nonconforming is.
And that was the most interesting thing because, I'm not around it 24/7, but it's so great to actually learn about it. The pronouns, what people want to go by. And I'm really enjoying, getting more information about that whole world that, a lot of people don't know about and what they go through every day. So I'm excited to just learn more and just get to know them.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely, Are You the One is already a crazy experience, right?
Yeah.
Because you put these attractive young singles in there. They're supposed to find their perfect match. Of course, they usually go to the physical attraction. People start hooking up right away. Obviously, there was no difference here.
Not at all.
But in this situation, it's like my perfect match could be a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
And so the world is, could be my match.
So
So
really.
I basically, and now granted, they did lessen the amount of, singles that are there, but even still, I feel like it's going to be that much more difficult to find your match.
100%.
Because it was already difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was already, people already have a hard time. We've seen people not, make it at the end of the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We've seen people work down to the wire. This is going to be no different, but I think it's going to be no different in the sense that it's going to be crazy hard for them to do this. And people's feelings are involved right out the gate, just like before.
Exactly. We have the AYTO episode 1 curse where there's always that one couple that wants to stay together the whole time, regardless of whatever happens or whatnot. There might potentially be that couple that we saw already in these 1 or 2 episodes.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and I'm glad you bring that up because that was one thing that I was expecting to happen
Me too.
between a certain couple.
Can you say it?
Yes.
Justin and Noah.
Boom. So initially, I really thought that was going to be it. And when they were a no match.
I mean, well, let's talk about how their relationship grew.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean...
Grew and died?
Grew and died real quick.
Immediately.
Yeah. So, I mean, Amber was into Noor, pulled her aside. Justin was, feeling her out, too. Just how confident she was and, how strong she is as a woman. And, Noor was definitely into it as well. They ended up getting picked for the challenge. Noor ended up picking him instead of Amber. And they get to go on this very romantic date, kayaking, everything like that. Then they start talking, and I'm like, oh shit, this is getting really cute. I can see them together
And you
forever.
started getting invested, right?
Oh, I was invested.
Okay.
We haven't had, the first time, perfect match. I'm like, this couple is the one.
You were
I'm
hoping.
I can see them out in the forest, I don't know.
The
For some
forest.
reason,
We're forest.
Justin
They're in
just
Hawaii.
seems like one with nature. I don't know. So I
Okay.
could just see them both being one with nature.
Just think about Kona. Kona's so beautiful with the forest.
Yeah, with the forest.
So,
She meant.
I was here for it, and I was totally invested. We see them go in the truth booth. I'm like, ooh, Amber's about to be so sad because they're perfect matches. I'm here for it. I'm freaking out, sweating, and then it says no match.
Right.
And then
Bring it back. And then what happened?
we get into the building. They come out. Nora's like, oh my God, I'm so sad because, Justin's sad because he was so invested. I was like, wait, which what? You said he was invested.
Right.
Fast forward to them in the kitchen, and she's like, well, honestly, I was into Amber more than you. And I'm like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
But then it all made sense. She's like, you were my safe choice. And then it all just...
Safe
Trickles
choice.
down.
How does she even
Trickles
know what a
down.
safe
Right.
choice is on that first?
You know what?
Well,
because
I
she
think
knows
that's-
that's her safe. Going for that guy. It's probably her normal type. It's probably what she's
crazy.
been with, but she's always wanted to be with a woman. And she said that it's been hard for her, with
To
her
figure it out
family,
and
to
her
figure it
culture
out.
and all that stuff, too.
And now that she said that, I'm like, okay, now I'm here for Amber and Noor.
So,
now I'm here
yeah.
for it. They done took me down. That's what I'm talking about, my whirlwinds, okay?
One of the things that we'll find out is that we see that there's basically it's a lot of the same things that that happened in previous seasons,
Yeah.
just in a different way. Like when she was talking about her safe choice.
Yeah.
Her safe choice is that person. When we've seen in previous seasons, the safe choice could be a certain type of individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? The jock or somebody who's very studious or
Or the
player.
one that you connect with right away.
Instead of
'Cause you feel like you're playing with your heart.
Exactly.
But are you really?
Exactly. So I think that when she said that, it's the same thing we've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just in her case, the safe choice is that type of man, but she has this woman that she basically is attracted to that she feels more inclined to be with.
And I think that's a perfect example of why people are so scared about this season, about how it's such a big change or whatnot. When you really think about it and you put down throw out the gender lines, throw out the sexuality or whatnot, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Hold up. Yeah, they talking about, Nicolette, why don't you like lesbian couples? I just said that I'm here for Noor and Amber, so slow your freaking roll, okay? Because I just said I like Justin and Noor together too. So don't get my words twisted here, okay? Because I'm all here for all the love.
Boom,
so
boom.
if you try to come for me this season, you're going to really have it out for you.
Oh, I'm here
Oh.
the chat like, oh, okay.
Like they're threatening people.
Right.
Like, no, did I say that? No, that never
no,
came out of my mouth.
no.
So why don't you
And
stop
this is-
throwing words in my
And
mouth?
this is one
okay?
thing I think Tyler said this on his Tyler from AYTO said this on his Instagram. He was like, if you're gonna come with any racist comments, any bigotry, anything of that nature, don't watch a show. Don't watch a show. If you can't be open, don't watch a show.
Right.
It's easy as that. Why I don't, when people try to invest more of their time onto trying to troll or trying to hate the situation, it's out there already.
And
the money was put in there already. It's on air. You can't stop it.
Yeah, and watch and learn about it.
Exactly.
You'll find something new and you'll see people I can't.
Right.
Well, before we get into our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of Talk TV. You're messing up my whole speech here. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you are on YouTube right now, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you are on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our show.
Yeah. So I want to kind of break down some of the cast members that we have and how they, presented themselves.
Let's do it.
So we got Carrie. We saw first. She's a blonde girl. She said her thing is she attracts the wrong people. We've heard that so many times, right? Jenna. It was her birthday that day.
Right.
Everybody came in, and she said she's extremely jealous, and we kind of saw that, kind of right. But I'm saying we saw her trying to suppress it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, she was the first one where I was like,
yeah.
She did good by saying, Jenna, calm. What did she say? Jenna, calm down.
Right.
Normally,
drinking her coffee.
What they call themselves is what they end up being on the show. So the fact that Jenna's really trying to figure out, okay, how do I calm my jealousy?
Exactly.
How do I really control it? And I mean, girl, I would have sipped my tea with you, girl.
For now. I definitely thought, based on what she described herself of, and we saw, which we'll get into the situation with Kai, I thought it was really going to go down. We see Bassett, who he says he's pansexual, and he's sick of basicness. He doesn't like basicness.
You know what? I love him. I absolutely love him.
The epitome of not basic.
He's totally not basic.
Absolutely not.
And it's just so intriguing because I'm like, he has this fun, like, feminine personality, but then also when he was talking to Kylie, I was like, ooh, like, I see the masculine too, and I'm like, ooh, like, if I was Kylie, I'd be like, I'm so here for it. Like, I don't know, he's just giving me so much life, and I think he's really showing the world that you can just be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to do.
So we have Asha, and she said that she kind of opened the door for threesome, so she's kind of the one that initiated it, and that's her thing. Jonathan, I would not think this, but he's a bake manager. He's one with the big hair.
Yeah.
The lion mane.
Right.
Yeah.
I love Jonathan.
Mufasa.
I was like, yo, really? A bake manager? What bake is this?
I was here for it. I'm gonna be here for it all season. I feel like that's gonna be my hashtag. So I'm just making that clear right now.
He works at Bank of the Southwest.
I love when he was in the confessional with Blondie Bombshell. You guys help me with the name here.
Oh, you're talking about Carrie?
Yes, when he was a Carrie, and they were in the and they were like, let it marinate, or what was they talking about? Let it
something. He's gonna be the ones with the one-liners that we're gonna love.
Oh, you guys, it'll come back to me.
Yeah. And he loves Justin.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We see Kai, who had a lot of exposure these two episodes. He describes himself as queer, transmasculine, non-binary.
Right.
Yes.
We have Brandon from Texas, play football, so he's the jock. Noor, who we saw a lot of, she's Arab, and she basically struggled. She was, when everyone was kind of speaking their truths into the spoon microphone, and she was basically saying, because she's the one, if I'm not mistaken, she was married before, correct?
I'm trying to remember. Was she?
I think she's the one. Yeah, she said she was married.
Oh.
Yeah, she was
married.
I
missed that too.
Yeah. She said she was married before, and that was the whole thing. She was trying to conform to her religion,
right?
And she was suppressing who she really was.
Oh wow.
We see Paige, and she came out on the show. Yep. That was her coming out moment.
Was huge.
Was the show?
I love her. I think she's great.
And she's super tall. I mean, do you see her?
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh,
she's model status.
Like she's about to start modeling after this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Jasmine, I really like Jasmine. I like Jasmine. Her energy is great.
Where is Jasmine from?
She's from Mississippi.
Oh, she's from Missouri.
No,
You know what?
Oxford, Missouri.
Oh, is it Oxford?
Yeah,
Oh,
Oxford,
okay.
Missouri. Yeah.
Okay, she from the South.
She's from
Yeah.
the South.
She from the South.
I
Yes.
actually loved her and Paige's relationship,
Yeah.
and I was really hoping this was gonna like work, but then
they became
saw.
good friends. They
became
said
good
they said
friends.
forever friends.
Right.
You can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
But I like her. Danny, he embraces being the square. This is Danny.
This is the one we talked about before the show even started.
Danny is my dude.
Yeah.
He's the glasses. He's like got the calculator out. Like, oh, let's
He's
see,
just the
check out this
statistics
algorithm.
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did I not say that he was about to be the nerd?
And you gotta have one
The
of
hot
those,
nerd.
right? You gotta have one of those
Yeah.
every show, right?
He's gonna be captivating
Right.
for sure.
And we see Justin, who's former military. So we have a lot of interesting individuals.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we're gonna see a lot of people's backgrounds coming out. It's gonna be really interesting. I think when the exes come on.
Max. We forgot Max.
I wasn't done.
my bad.
I just kind of highlighted a few, but we'll get into as we go. Those were just kind of who was introduced at the beginning.
Right.
But we did talk about already. Basically, the couple that went into the truth booth.
Yes.
But the first people to start hitting off was Jenna and Kai. And Jenna and Kai basically like right away, like she was
Off the bat.
Oh, she
Out
was
the
like,
gate.
that's my type.
right. And I thought too, because when
Yes, we-
Kai started flirting with all the other individuals in the house, so they had kind of
Like everybody.
So they had a moment or a couple of moments. They kissed and it was like real flirty, and they're in truth booth. We're gonna kiss on camera and all this kind of stuff. And then Kai just got lit
Right, like
and was like, "Hey, what's up,
she
everybody?"
was very at first like nervous to
Yeah.
be kissing on camera, and then yes, honey, once that liquor was in her system,
Right.
Yeah.
And so then Kai goes around, flirts with everybody, then comes back. And of course, Jenna's feeling some kind of way. But then she kind of gets over it. She's like, you know what? I think we need to smash. And so they go to the boom boom room. And
and they boom boom.
it goes down in the boom boom room. But Kai was not done for the evening.
No, 2 for 1 special.
He was not done for the evening.
Wait, before we get there, so I watched the first episode, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, she's already going for Remy, like, da-da-da, right? Fast forward to the second episode. I'm like, oh, it's in the clear. Like, it was actually Jenna. Like, it wasn't, like, Remy. And then go.
Right. It wasn't. So then we
I was
see
like, "What?"
right. We see Remy, who he proclaimed himself to be. He said, "That's a lot of people.
900 people.
900 people.
He slept with over 900 people.
That's a lot a people. That's a lot of people. So he's basically the whole of the group. Right. Exactly. He said I've slept with more people than all of y'all combined.
Yes.
And it was like
can't
not
even
ashamed.
imagine.
He was like, no, this is me. So he was checking for Kai already. And so when Jenna went to bed, they start talking, and he was not holding back, and we know that liquor's involved, but again,
No.
but still,
Remy.
he was just. My thing is, it's on Kai, and I feel like, and I think it was Justin who said this. It was the jock, Brandon. Excuse me. Brandon said, "I believe Kai's a player," because Kai did come off right as somebody. He's talking about his story, and we see, and especially it was a really tender moment.
Oh, he caught me all the way
Right,
off guard.
because he's taking the testosterone, and he asked her to come with him.
Yes.
And that was a serious moment. And then all of a sudden,
Boom.
turn up time. And yeah.
We said this before. Like in past seasons, it's always the quiet, sweet ones that you have to worry about. Because I thought Kai was like, okay, like, kind of like boy next door type of situation. Really sweet, transitioning, figuring everything out at the moment. Want to have a nice, beautiful relationship.
Right.
He's having situationships left and right.
And the thing is, and I say the alcohol, and I say that loosely because you can't blame it on the alcohol, as
No.
Jamie Foxx said. But the thing is, he doubled down because when there was the truth booth time, and it's been asked like, hey, so what do you think? And we see Jenna's like, I kind of like the monogamy. I really want that to be. I want to be with one person.
Yeah.
And Kai's like, yeah, so open relationship is cool with me. So
Well, even before that, like, we need to talk about how Jenna totally was like, okay, I get, girl, that you're not trying to be jealous, but that was disrespectful. Okay? Like, that ain't no jealousy. That is just plain disrespectful. Like, I'm sorry, Kai, I'm here for you, you know. But no, like, you're not going to do my girl Jenna like that. Like, you straight up waited 2 hours.
2 hours.
To sleep with Remy, and then you have the audacity to go sleep with Jenna. Good night.
Yeah.
Like, no, I am not here for it. She should have definitely turned up a little bit more. Like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm still gonna fuck with you because we're still trying to figure things out. But that was mad disrespectful, and she needed to get checked.
She is. I'm just saying. Jenna is a saint, like, for being able to come back with that real quick and say, okay, it's the first night. Maybe it'll change.
It'll change. Blah.
But it could be one of these things where it's going to be an ongoing situation throughout the whole season.
I have a question for you all, and maybe we can pose this to the people in the chat.
Yes.
Which I know is popping. So, do you think that, like in Jenna's case, we'll use her for example, because she definitely suppressed her emotions. I mean, she visibly was like, I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna stay calm, and Kai was kind of like expecting her to turn up, and she did not. So you kind of like, I don't know if that's good or bad. But do you think that because of the nature of this season, and a lot of people are still figuring out their sexuality, still figuring out their gender, and that kind of situation, do you think that people are more forgiving of this than in past seasons where we've seen, like, if it's a couple and then they kind of step out, then there's like no forgiveness, they turn up immediately?
I think Jenna's just forgiving.
Okay,
like,
you think it's
because I feel like there are people in this cast that wouldn't be that forgiving. Like, off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, Jasmine was like, oh, heck no.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Jasmine was not here for it.
Right.
I do feel like that, though, especially how Justin and Noor ended. I feel like that's kind of what I get from it. And it's like, okay, yeah, like, there's so many people here. Like, there's going to be someone else who's my perfect match. Like, they handled that very well. I mean, I think Justin would have still had feelings for Noor, but Noor just straight up told him it is what it is, and so he's out here looking.
And a tough subject in the LGBTQI community is monogamy. You know, a lot of people talk about that or whatnot. Monogamy is hard at times in that situation. People have said numerous times or whatnot. So I feel like with a show like this, and introducing it all to the to the public, basically, to the masses, and talked about it even more, and not just tossed to the side or whatnot. We're going to learn so much.
Right. Well, we have Joseph in the chat room right now. Shout out to Joseph. He's saying Jenna is more of a saint than I would be.
Right,
because I would be a complete mess. I don't care if it's the first night. That is sick as hell.
Booyah. So let's talk about the challenges are back. I'm so excited. Yes. I don't know why they took them away, because it was Google without the challenges. Because I'm like, how do you like me that? So challenges are back, and we see this is a getaway challenge. Also introducing the challenge, Terrence J, is Dr. Frankie. And Dr. Frankie is going to be a relationship coach that's going to be kind of there throughout the season. And I think this is interesting because they've never done this before. There's a lot of firsts this season.
I'm like,
They've never done this before, but I think that, the premise of the show is that all of them suck at relationships, right? Which is why they're on the show.
Well, they should have brought that woman in a long time ago.
I'll take the free
I don't think it should have
therapy,
been for this season. I think it should have been for a lot of seasons.
I mean, true, but at least they starting out.
I don't know.
But on the scenes, she's like, I don't know. I don't, whatever. It's whatever. But I think that for the sake of this show and for the people that are on the show, I think it's a good situation, because a lot of things that they deal with, I'm sure none of them go to therapy about or deal with relationship coaches.
But that's the same way the other seasons too. I think they all needed that.
I'm not saying that they did it. They obviously did, because
it's just good that they brought it on.
Exactly.
Now. Yeah. I'm 100% for this, because like I said, I'll take any free therapy that I can. If it's on TV, so they're talking about it, I'm going to write some notes down too. Maybe this could help me.
I mean, it is true, especially like all the emotions that they went through. And I guess it is good where they bring her in, to talk about it, and it's after all the messes. Right. So I get what you're saying, Lem.
So we get the challenge, and it was an interesting challenge, like an obstacle course, but it like had a double meaning, because you're like, if you go under this or over this or under this, if you've dealt with it or haven't dealt with it, and then go past this, and they paired them up. It was interesting. to say the least. I'm saying all that to say it was very interesting. I was like, come on, y'all. The challenge, like, it seemed, oh, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing.
It was a glorified obstacle course.
Right. But it wasn't really an obstacle course. It was just more like...
It was dodging your feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So... But first place was Bissett and Kylie.
They worked really well together.
Yes, they did. Yes,
I
they
loved
did.
their moment.
Second place was Jasmine and Paige, and third place was Justin Noor. And with this one, all three couples get to go on the special date. And just like before, everyone that's on the date, then people get to vote who to vote in the truth booth. Overwhelmingly, they voted in Justin Noor, who, you know, obviously was the obvious choice.
Yeah.
It was the best choice.
It was the obvious choice. What do you all think about Amber? Because Amber, for the jump, she even said, she's like, this is a no match, but I'm going to vote for them because that way they can get it over with and I can go ahead and holler at Noor.
There's always that one person in the season who's going to ride for that one that they want to pick for the beginning. And if they can't get that person from the beginning, they're going to be feeling some type of way throughout that whole time.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to pose an issue? Like, let's say, obviously, Noor, right now, Noor is saying she feels, you know, Amber more so. But let's say it's a situation where someone else dips in. Do you think that she's going to be the jealous person?
Yeah.
Depending on how serious their relationship gets. I definitely feel like if it just kind of depends how the relationship goes.
Yeah.
I really can't tell right now. I do know that Amber knows what she wants and she's going to get what she wants.
If Noor wants more in another situation and, you know, and tries to dip and tries to say, okay, I'm not 100% sure if this is it for me and I need to explore still, I feel like Amber's definitely going to get jealous.
Word.
Which is okay. It happens.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
One of the scenes that really stood out to me is we see Kylie and Kari that were talking, and they were sharing their trauma stories, you know, and Carrie, excuse me, sharing their trauma stories and things that's happened in the past with relationships. And it was funny because it was Carrie said to Kylie, your heart is pretty.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's a line.
Well, at first I was like, okay, how is Carrie gonna bag Kylie?
Yeah.
Like, how is this gonna happen?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they were talking and like.
Tell me that line wouldn't have
wasn't
made you
playing.
smile. Like
that was
line
a
made
dope
me
line.
smile. Like
I'm
I was
saying, like,
oh,
You're gonna use it, aren't you?
he used it last
He's
night,
gonna use
probably.
it. He probably did.
don't.
Whoever Lem used it on last night, go ahead and add us. Let us know.
Don't put me out there.
Let us know.
Don't put me out there. I'm just saying it was dope. But yeah, and I think Carrie is. I think she seems to be a wonderful person so far. How she's presented herself. I like her stilo and her whole aura and everything she's got going on. Of course, we see that Dr. Frankie actually meets with the cast, and this is when we start hearing different things of difference of opinion, where we start talking about monogamy, which, you know, we see Kai's like, oh, I'm all about open relationships. It's like, well, you got to tackle monogamy first before you get into open relationships. And it was kind of like a divide because monogamy came up. We saw some people like, yes, that's me. And then open relationships, some people were agreeing with that. So I think even that in itself is going to make it interesting this season to see how people, you know, deal with each other.
Yeah.
Because you have some people that are all about like, I want to find the one. And you got people like, you know, your boy that slept with 900 people that he's trying to have a good time. I don't think he's trying to find a match.
Look, he's definitely not. He's out here trying to be petty and mess up
He's
the
trying
whole
to live his
situation. But
life.
you know what? I think he's gonna be great for television.
Right.
Oh, of course.
He's trying to live his life. He just has to remember that there is $1 million on the line.
$1 million.
Yes.
So he's gonna have to figure it out and try to work it out for the sake of the game.
For the sake of the game.
For the sake of the game.
So we do have a matchup server at the end of the second episode. And so gets interesting, right? Because as we've always seen, there's couples that are kind of working with each other and then get broken up. And so this way, it's like Terrence just picks people. Instead of it going guys and girls, he's just like, all right, you go first. So Noor went first, and she picked Amber, which, you know, that was no-brainer.
Makes sense.
And then we see Carrie, and she picks Kylie because they had their moment, you know, made her heart smile.
Right.
My heart is pretty.
was like,
Bissett was not having it.
No.
Bissett was not having it because he went on the date with Kylie.
I was here for that.
And he felt like, did you think they had a really good connection on their date?
I definitely do. And he had Kylie like.
The moment in the rain, when it
Ready.
started raining on them, they were just talking. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that is a moment for sure.
Yeah.
Right there. But I can't blame Carrie for choosing her because that's the only connection it seemed that she had in the house.
I agree.
right?
I agree.
And it was a deep. I mean, it didn't seem like a romantic or physical connection.
Yeah, not yet.
But it was definitely a deep connection.
And it was organic. It wasn't,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Forced.
Absolutely. We see Max and with Justin, and Jonathan had issues along with everybody else because Max is just like he doesn't really know I don't think he really was connected with anybody. So I think he just
but him
from what we saw, but it seemed like Justin was who he wanted.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I don't care.
I think he felt bad
Who's been rocking
because
with?
Jonathan's his friend a little bit, and so he didn't want to step on his toes. But they do have a connection going on. So yeah.
And Jonathan was thrown off a little bit because he told
Jonathan that it was just friends
Right.
and like it was nothing more, and then he picked him.
Exactly. So I think we're going to see more of that. Just saying.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We're going to see a lot more of that.
Definitely.
Bassett ends up picking Jonathan. Now he's available. And then we see a couple of more, Jasmine and Jenna. And Kai was shocked because it was literally Kai and Jenna were left. And then there was 2 other people. And so you would think that, Jasmine is going to pick Donnie.
Yeah.
And let, what'd you say?
Danny, right?
Danny, sorry.
Yeah.
Jasmine going to pick Danny and let Jenna and Kai be the last
Makes
2.
sense.
You would think so.
100% sense.
But Jasmine was like, no, I'm going to pick Jenna because that's who I want to pick. And there we go. So, she picked Jenna. And then Kai was shocked and like, oh, okay. So then it's Danny and Kai now.
Yeah.
So did you think that we're going to get any beams when you saw that?
I feel like there was going to be at least a beam somewhere in there.
Okay.
I was worried.
You was worried?
I was worried. I'm like, okay, a lot of these are random, but the Amber situation, I was like, okay, that could be, and the Max and Justin. So yeah, I mean, there was a couple that I was like, okay, but then there was a lot of couples where I was like, oh no,
Right.
like I haven't really seen them connect that much, so I don't know.
In my head, 2, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
I was like,
Word.
2. 2's gonna come. 2 seems like a good number for what I see right here. Even though so early on, you never
Right.
know, and we don't even know if the 2 that we think in our heads is the actual 2 that's.
I have no clue. Like, I can't even
pictures to
pinpoint
that
2
right now. Yeah.
I can't even pinpoint 2 couples where I'm like, that's them. So, but they did get 2, so no blackouts, which is dope. And because it's 8, if they get 4, that's half. They're halfway there. So they're a quarter of the way there with 2. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, going forward.
Yeah.
And also how, it works out. So we're going to get into our special segment. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Llanera. Talk about our top 3. What's cracking?
What's up, y'all? So there was a lot of TV-worthy moments, reality TV-worthy moments here on this episode, and we broke it down in 3. And let me know what you think when I name our 3. We talked about this, but we got to mention Kai's double dipping with Jenna and Remy in the Boom Boom Room within 2 hours. It made MTV AYTO history. First time it ever happened.
Yeah.
On the show. First time it
crazy.
ever happened on the show. That has to be
That's crazy.
one of the
2
top 3
hours.
moments. 2 hours within each
2
other.
hours.
Yes, because I know Malcolm, Nerese, and the whole Dee Dee situation. Wasn't that the same nights? Or
It was something like that, but even MTV said this was the history making.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
definitely was.
And I don't think it was the same. I think it might have been another night.
And I think it was in 2 episodes. This was
The
in one episode.
One episode.
In one episode.
And they got to bring it down next to Noor and Justin's super short love story. It was up here, then it was down here, then it was non-existent.
I know.
I thought they were going to be the no match couple.
And that's why it was like such a moment because it had us, and then it
Right.
just was like.
Like I said,
I didn't think there were going to be a match because
I thought they were going to ride throughout the whole time.
But I thought it was going to be like they seemed like really into each
Yeah.
other, and so I'm like, all right, this is going to be the no match couple. They're the first ones. They have a great
Exactly.
connection. They're going to be riding, and then no, it was
exactly. And to round it off, I got to mention Bassett.
over. Yeah,
Him just breaking boundaries and just being him in general, I think was a reality TV moment in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And introducing us to something we're not, maybe a lot of people aren't familiar with or whatnot. So I think him himself, just being him as not even a character, just himself.
Yeah,
was
I just
definitely,
love what he's bringing
moments.
to the reality television, the reality world. He has the perfect personality for it, and I think he's just going to give us so much energy this season. And, you just never know what he's going to give each episode, so I'm here for him.
absolutely,
right.
absolutely. So let's get into our predictions. Let's do that. Predictions.
We actually have one more segment.
One more segment.
Oh, we do?
A quick little special
Yeah,
segment.
sorry.
Oh,
special
that's right.
segment.
We're doing a little double today.
Okay.
We're doing
Before we do the predictions, I want to talk
Sorry,
about
guys.
something we're going to try to do weekly if we don't have a guest here. We're going to give out some awards to some of the cast members. We call this the one, and we're going to talk about who is in the top spots for the most pettiest every week, who's the most drunk in love, and who's the reality star of the week from this episode. So we talked about this beforehand, and for the pettiest, we have to give it to Remy.
Yes.
So shout out to
Super
Remy.
petty.
Super petty. And he said it too. He's like, I'm going to do my thing, and just that's going to be it.
He was ready.
Right? Drunken love. There's no other person that I could give this to besides Jenna.
Yeah.
Jenna was there for Kai in the beginning. Kai did something else, and Jenna still came back, and they're still going at it. They're still okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reality star of the week, we have to mention Kai. That was a
He
whole
gave us so much.
half-hour segment just on his escapades for the
Yeah,
night.
he's gonna be giving us a lot this season.
So can't wait to see
Yeah.
what's next.
It's going to be, I'm really interested to see how Kai develops in the house because I think that it's not going to last. I don't think Jenna is going to be able to deal with him the way that, he's rolling in the house. And I think that she's going to get fed up with him. It might take her a minute. It might be a couple more episodes, but he's not, he's still going to be like wanting to explore and all this kind of stuff. So I think that they're not going to last, but it's going to be interesting to see who he ends up being with.
Definitely.
And at least he's real about it. He's like, I want an open relationship.
Sure.
He said it. He didn't try to hide it.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay.
Now
we can do it.
Can we do predictions?
Yes, we can.
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right. So, we got 2 episodes down.
Yeah.
8 more to go, potentially. Nino, what do you think going forward? Who is going to be the reigning champion of reality TV next episode?
Oh, out of this whole cast?
I'm just saying, who's gonna shine
Who's going to shine?
in the best or worst way?
My prediction of who's... I'm looking at the people really quick. My prediction... you
Mine
go
either
first.
is going to be Amber or Kai. We see Kai next episode moving on again to another situation. And Amber, I feel like she's going to be pursuing her relationship more with Noor. So it will be interesting to see if she turns up a little bit more or where the relationship is going.
I'm going to give it to Remy for right now.
Ooh,
I feel like
okay.
he could turn up a whole bunch of different scenarios, maybe rattle some relationships, maybe get into one himself and then feel jealous. I feel like because he's so open and just like, I don't give a type of type of moment, I feel like he could stir up things in the house and he could be that guy.
Interesting.
What about you, Lem?
Yeah, I think that I think he's definitely, I feel like he's just going to be the catalyst to just mess with everybody. Again, I don't think he's there really for love. I think that if they get the money, then great. But I don't think he's really like, oh, I'm looking to find, because you hear him, right? Oh, I don't care about that. I just want to find my perfect match. I want to fall in love. He's not trying to do that. He's trying to get more numbers under his belt.
Exactly.
And we saw that with Kai. He was like, I don't care. He just was, this is what I'm about to do. So I think that my current favorite, Jasmine, I think that she has some turning up to do. I think
so too.
she can turn up a notch.
I love that.
There was a lot of people that we didn't see a whole lot of. We're introduced to everybody.
Yeah.
But like Brandon, I think Brandon, he's going to have some special moments this season. I could definitely see that. Justin, former military, I can see him having some special moments. So it'll be interesting, but it's like, it's hard to tell now.
I don't think there's a dry cast member.
Yeah, no,
right?
no.
there's not.
Even Danny, like with his self and his
fetishes.
glasses. And
Yes,
like,
honey, when he came out with that Charlotte Russe skirt, honey.
I'm like,
Not playing.
Skirt.
he is like not playing at all. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season and how everything develops. I'm just wondering if really people are going to find love in this house.
I think so.
You think so?
I think they will.
You think it's going to happen?
Yeah, definitely.
There was an article that went up and said even if people don't find love in the show, it's going to be something educational for everybody to watch and to learn and to understand a little bit more, especially in 2019 with a lot going on in our political climate and all other stuff, and just a lot of hate around the world. It's good to see a lot more love and acceptance out there.
For sure, for sure.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
here for it.
All right, y'all. Well, that has been our show. We broke it all the way down, and then it's broke. I've been your host, Lem Gonzalvez, and you can find me everywhere at the Poet Saint. And also check out my website for everything I got going on, stayonthemic.com. Sensei, where you at?
You guys know where to follow me at Sensei Don't Play, and do not go anywhere in the next hour and a half. Me and Jesse are going to be covering the Real World After Show at 9:30 p.m. So if you guys are still up, drink some coffee or something, but be up with us because the next episodes are about to be everything.
I'll be tuning in. Hey, y'all, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Keep the conversation going. I love talking to you guys about all this. Hit me up in the DMs.
Yes. And as I said before, I didn't. I told them guys. But we were going to be off next week because it's the 4th of July, so happy Independence Day. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with Messy Melody.
Yes.
And possibly a special guest on the couch. But you got to stay tuned. We'll see y'all. Peace.
Deuces.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.